Kehinde, the one that you all know, the global product made in Nigeria here, and for whom we're very proud, came here to celebrate me at 70 and decided to go, ask me to take him around the Biscom Communication Complex to see how we do our business here. And I just thought, let me also ask him a few things to get closer to him, and through me, the whole world also gets to know about you. Now, so many people have been asking me to ask you how you got into this broadcasting media business, which I hear is not even your forte. It was like you got into it accidentally. But let me leave it to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I went into journalism immediately I left the university. I left Ife, Obafemi University. I served in Ilorin, and of course, I started writing, and I wrote for a few newspapers, and then came to Lagos from Ife and got a job with some of the newspapers here in Lagos. And of course, from that point onwards, I got into journalism, and of course, I met the likes of Senator Olafemi Judu, Mr. Bayo Onuga. But they were all at the Concord press then.
Newspapers at the time, okay.
And of course, I was invited to come work for Concord, and I joined as a reporter. And from there, we left for the Guardian. From the Guardian, we set up the news magazine, and of course, Tempo came after that, and we were all part of the group that took on the military
during the Sani Abacha junta period.
And from that point, the whole thing evolved, and I've been in it since then.
Now, okay, city people. I mean, you stormed the arena and you became the talk of the town, and everybody seems to be going with your style. How did you coin this one? Coin the name number one, and the kinds of things that you do. How come you got it all put together, and it becomes
it was a bit of a problem coming up with the name at that time. I was still with the news group, but I've always believed that there was room for a soft sell weekly magazine that would mirror the lifestyles of those who live in the city. But it was so difficult coming up with a name, and I didn't want a name that existed somewhere that I would just...
You already come fresh.
Yes. So I kept at it, kept reflecting, kept thinking. And one Sunday afternoon, I was on the Tomiland Bridge going towards the island to see some of my friends, and suddenly I started thinking again, how can I come up with a name that would be apt for the kind of thing I had in mind? And of course, I looked at the fact that the focus was going to be on the people of the city people, and that was how it clicked. And I called up a few friends and I told them this is what I've been able to do, and they all said fantastic, that it's a good name for a new magazine, and that was how I came up with it. And of course, the whole idea was also to mirror the lifestyle of people in the city, what they do, how they dress, what they eat, entertainment, showbiz, a potpourri of all the various
about the life and living.
Yeah, life and living, basically. So that's how we went into it in November 1996, and we've been at it since then, sir.
That's 26 for the first 27. Wow, that's not small at all. Now, how have you been? I mean, the same question I've been asked by so many people. Have you been able to keep it going?
Oh, it's been very tough.
This is a very, very, very tough environment to have to run
tough.
business.
Very tough. It's been very, very, very tough. I guess it's been the grace of God. It's God that keeps leading us on. We've been coming up with all sorts of initiatives and moves to keep the publication going. And of course, with social media, we have to join we have to key into it, and of course we've been able to become very strong.
I think you lashed in very successfully on, the opening that the COVID-19 brought about to the whole world, and you made a great success of it.
Thank you, sir. That changed the whole narrative, because it became clear that we had to still be coming out despite COVID, and then we looked at what we could do onto the social media platform, and of course, after COVID, we realized that the whole game had changed, and we all had to change with it, and we've been doing a couple of things on the digital platform, whilst at the same time strengthening our online activity.
Okay.
Basically, our Facebook coverage, Instagram, Twitter, and all the other
social media platforms and all that. All right, I see too that you are into politics in a way, meaning that you cover politicians and so on and so forth.
Over the last 2 years, it's all been politics, preparatory to the elections, of course, the election period, the post-election period, and of course, all the elected officers are just settling down to start the new dispensation we have now. And of course, we saw content in that, whatever is happening in all the states, at the national level, the presidency, and all the new players that come in. Of course,
and they need some search. They need the searchlight will beam them to them.
Yes, especially the new players who we didn't know before and wanted to get a hang of what they're coming to do.
All right, now politics, Nigerian politics. 2023, the problems that the 2023 presidential, general elections, particularly the presidential election, threw up, is still fresh in our minds. And it was a litigation. It's up to the very highest level of the Supreme Court until we were able to get a clean bill of health for the president. What do you think went wrong with INEC, for instance, that the whole world has been praising and all that? Did they lose anything? Did they miss anything?
I don't think they lost anything. I don't think they've lost anything. I believe that they tried to do the best they could do in the circumstances they found themselves. But of course, the politicians, you can't really get to satisfy them. None will lose an election and accept. It's always, I was rigged out, I was pushed out, something happened.
But when they win,
when they win,
they keep mute. They don't say anything about it.
Basically, I think it's not the fault of INEC, but I think it's the fact that the players are not playing the game like sportsmen, which
well, I think to a large extent, the INEC has been able to redeem itself to some extent in its outing at the off-season elections that happened in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo. Of course, as you said, those who lost are still crying foul, crying wolf. But let's try and ask what you think about the off-season elections. Or the circle elections and all that. Off-cycle election. The former president, what's his name now? Goodluck Jonathan has spoken against it. He said we should block it. What do you think about it? Yes, so migrate all our elections into one platform.
Yes, I think I agree with him on that. Having all of this, really is not good for our democracy.
We spend so much money there.
Practically doing the same thing in double format, or just keep repeating it.
Like some people say, the last election, people have talked about voter apathy, and some have also said it's to do with vote
buying.
No, not voting, the fatigue that came across. People have not quite rested, and you're bringing this along with them again. Then the vote buying system, can we succeed in the fight?
I don't think so. I think it's become part of us in terms of the monetization of politics,
of everything.
Yes, of everything, basically. So, for elections, probably people will wait for you to offer them something for them to be able to. They're not going to vote because this candidate is the best or is very good at what basically
there has to be something.
Yes.
What is in it for me?
That's the idea.
All right. Well, as we're coasting home to the to the end of this interview, let me just also ask you your special message to the younger ones who want to get into this business that we do, both as broadcasters on radio or those who run newspapers and so on.
I think the message is that they should know that it takes a lot of hard work. I still don't think there's any other way out of that. They need to pay their dues. They need to work hard at what they're trying to do, whether it's broadcast or print. It doesn't come easy because you have to be painstaking in the practice of broadcasting and, of course, the print media. You have to take your time, you have to cross-check everything, and you have to put yourself into it. I mean, it's not something you just get into and you think you'd get by in a short while. It's a long haul. You have to.
The competition is getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, yes,
well, that before you open your eyes, colloquially, one radio station is open somewhere, a TV station. I've lost count how many we even have now. So you got to be on the top of your game, on your toes, to be able to measure up.
That's true.
But the most important thing, and I'm sure that the younger ones are listening, is that what do you say when you're on air? Some people just say anything. I think we must guard our utterances. We must be very, these are things that we call MBB, not fit for broadcast. Guide against it in such a way that you get some respectability. Yes, not when you're on somebody say, now this bar, I know they like, so I'm hoping that this is going to be taken very seriously. I'm almost sounding like a broken record on that. At every opportunity, I say that to the younger colleagues that I'm working with here. And I say to them, it is not about money, it's about recognition. I mean, Seye Kehinde is on maybe first name basis with just naming. And this comes across with a kind of respectability that you also give out, and the seriousness that you attach to what you're doing. People, they have a pen and a paper, they're marking the paper, and when it's time, there's payback. And I'm hoping that all of this is like, I'm hoping that the younger ones are taking notes. We've been something like a class, and I'm sure they must have come on the richer for it. Let me thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for all the respect that you give me.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.